All right, welcome back to game number 3. We got a donation to read out. Sorry that we missed this earlier. That last game actually was pretty intense, despite how strange it was. I do want to thank Ragmuffin for the $5 donation. He says, you guys do good casting. In all seriousness, it's amazing if StarCraft 2 casted games at all hours of the day. You guys help make it a reality. Well, thank you very much, sir. I know that our flavor of casting does not apply to all, but I'm glad to see we're able to entertain close to 5K people. It's always nice to see here for our qualifier of all things, too. So hopefully you guys are enjoying Legacy of the Void. It is worth noting we've cast so much Legacy of the Void at this point. Sometimes when we do go like on a bit of a tangent, it's because there is actually nothing going on. Sometimes it's because we're being ridiculous, but for the most part, we can identify which parts of the games are worth talking about and which aren't, because you have eyes and you can see the game yourselves. But anyways, we are in game number 3, tied up now 1-1, still in the winner's bracket. On the right side of the map, we've got the purple Zerg player, NoRegreT.
The top position as the teal Protoss, it's KiFirE.
So I want to address something you put in chat here.
Uh-huh.
Guys asking, when are Rifkin and Zombie Group having babies? And you reply with never. However, I can test that he didn't ask if we were having babies together. So, are you saying that you never plan to have children? Because I thought you wanted kids at some point.
I say that to everyone in chat. So, even with your
logic?
Even with your logic, I still would say never, because if they ask me, like, ZG, you want babies? I would say no to that for also logical reasons.
Because you would be an irresponsible mother. I understand. It's totally fine. Don't need to explain it.
You'd be a great mom, but...
You'd be a great cat mom.
No.
Oh my gosh, I saw this... I don't remember if I linked this to you. I saw this GIF on Reddit where there's seriously like 80 cats in this room, and this woman comes in and just starts sprinkling food like she's feeding pigeons. And I'm like, there's so many cats.
That sounds amazing.
It does, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy. Like I'm down with 5 cats. I can get behind you having 5 cats. That actually doesn't bother me. But when you have like 50 cats...
I feel like if you have a cat per room, you're kind of okay. Any more than that, and you're kind of crazy.
That reminds me a little bit of Mitch Hedberg. He had this joke where it's like, I hate when you're like going to shop houses and they say, this house has 2 bedrooms. Isn't it up to me how many bedrooms are in the house? This bedroom has a toilet in it.
Oh boy.
This bedroom has a cat. This cat room has a bed. Alright, well,
oh my god, I could have a cat room one day. Full of cats!
You know, I want to talk about our secret plans so bad. We're gonna build a cat house, guys. A cat house.
Yeah, we're actually gonna open up a cat shelter in West Virginia, right next to the stripper club. That's all West Virginia has.
It'll be the cat cafe with the most pussy.
Oh my god, we could go in business with a stripper club next door.
Partnership hype. All right, so while you play with the kitties, you can also see some titties.
Oh my god.
It's
this
like a
push
gold
did not
mine.
do a whole lot. This pushed back, mostly because NoRegreT was just, it was already flooding with things, apparently, and he's got a lot of them.
Really important, and this has been a game where we've just been silly, but there is actually something important here where the +1 weapons are finishing up here, and melee is not something you conventionally see, but they're really good at tearing down buildings when you've got +1. So Mothership, of course, got the overcharge ability. Sure, it's going to buy time, it's going to delay these links, but honestly, these are a lot more deadly than normal. They will take down these gateways fairly quickly if given the opportunity, and NoRegreT's just going to sit through the overcharge because he knows he can kill that gateway. Now runs past the pylon and through the mineral line. I don't think he needed to stop the fight. I think he really could have just continued going through, but look for some probe kills here instead of running through to the main. Certainly going to get some, but I don't like that he stopped the fight in the overcharge. Maybe he thought there would just be a wall here. Also reveals the void ray in the Stargate while this goes on.
Ooh, NoRegreT never took any more gas after the initial 100. We'll definitely want to do that as he's going up to a lair. Reacts to the void rays with a couple of spur crawlers. That's fine. Behind this, he was droning fairly heavily. Not as good as it could have been. Oh, KiFiRE's gonna go into carriers. And the problem with carriers is that if you skip to them too quickly, well, they're not quick at all because they got nerfed in their time. So, like, you have a even bigger time where you're just very susceptible to a Hydra bust or some such to dive. We have that crucial amount of sky toss.
Trying so hard not to tweet about our awesome business plan.
I mean, it makes like all those rhymes.
I'm just saying, like it's basically selling itself.
It is.
All right, the Lings are not gonna unfortunately get too much more done, but we do have KiFirE, interestingly enough, going to carriers. Now we saw this so many instances today in the European qualifiers, and every time it got shut down pretty badly. But NoRegreT's playstyle, it's funny, in Archon mode, him and, oh gosh, what's her name? Scorpling, were already really good at dealing with carriers. I would truthfully be astonished if, with especially the nerf build time, he falls to this.
Mm-hmm.
For context here, by the way, guys, every time we've played Protoss versus NoRegreT and Scorpling, we've lost. And every time we've played Protoss, we've gone carriers and air and all these things that just don't work out. So
sure, we weren't as good as other, Protosses. We did make a lot of mistakes, but now with the nerf, let's say 100%, NoRegreT should be good against this.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It would be funny if this was like the one Zerg player to fall today, because it's the one Zerg player I expect the most to do well against it. But nothing is set in stone. 3 bases are up for KiFirE, so he's got the income to support this right now. And again, that 120-second build time versus 90 seconds is pretty major. It's the difference of carriers being out in the early game. It doesn't really affect the late game so much. It's the early game and the amount of carriers you'll have.
Well, not getting in through there. There aren't really that many depths on the ground. Oh, they do get through there. Whoops-a-daisy. And there's the main base.
Big reveal on those carriers. I mean, the Spire was already on the way, but confirming what's in play.
Well, I mean, if he wasn't getting corruptors before, he certainly will be now. Oh no, still goes for mutas. Well, I mean, as long as it's only 1 or 2 carriers at a time, the amount of mutas you can get on 4 bases will probably still win out.
Maybe.
Until a certain point.
I'm not super keen on this. If there was more Void Rays, I would actually be like, yeah, I'm all about the mutas. I think that's a great choice, but no Hydras, no Corruptors. I guess if he gets a substantial amount of Queens or something too, I don't know. This is just, I don't like the mutas, to be honest.
Well, maybe just thinking of using them to harass while behind it getting an economy and then into those Corruptors. Because you get the Corruptors, and while they do have that P ability, they still don't deal with the ground army. Maybe he wants to be aware of that. I'm not sure. But the carrier numbers are slowly growing. Mutas will have to just dodge them completely. They're not big enough numbers. Yeah, and the mutas really didn't do anything, so never mind that whole theory.
Yeah, I guess he was hoping for mobility to harass, and the slow carriers wouldn't be able to respond. That would actually make a little more sense to me, but
right.
He is thinking about the later game, so he's going for the Corruptors. The weapon upgrades are going to hurt him here for a little bit. I think he knows as well that he's going to need armor for it to really take those carriers on, but a couple of Stalkers do get taken out. Cannon's not going to hold on for too long, and yeah, it is that slow response time. Void Rays and carriers do not exactly respond to mutas quickly, so trying to fly away. The leashing of the interceptors, they talked about a lot of potential changes to the carriers. I really think the amount of, interceptors do not leash pretty much. They will follow you forever.
Ooh, the muta count has been, over the course of the last minutes, taken on pretty hard, but now the Ling Floods are coming in. They still, of course, have that +1 melee, so they tear through things pretty quickly. It looks like KiFirE was expecting more mutas. Maybe not. I mean, the way that Puck, had perfected the carrier Sky Toss at one point was by getting Mass Phoenix first for their harassment. So I'm not sure which one KiFiRE's doing, either harassment or terrified of more mutas. Or just as an addition to the carriers.
Well, the mutas get chopped up pretty good on the retreat. Not many make it home alive, but the Corruptors will protect what little there are. How many workers actually died through that attack? So about 22. It's not bad. Their base isn't saturated right now, and he definitely needs to rectify that. But this push coming down the middle of the map with the carriers, if he just dumps the interceptors for harass, that alone would be pretty good.
Shields. Well, NoRegreT's going to take the gold base to the bottom. I guess taking the gold base to the left of his main would just be easy pickings for the carriers, and then they'd be able to draw home. Lings, once again, get into the 3rd base. Too bad they're not more upgraded. They'd be absolutely tearing down the Nexus, so they might still get it.
Still might, yeah. The defense isn't really here as the Mothership pours across the map. Corruptor's going to try and focus this down. Stalkers, though, the bonus damage of the Void Ray certainly making quick work of those Corruptors.
I mean, unleashing oh, well, there's nothing to do with the ground army. Where's the Ling Flood? Where's the Roche Flood? More Corruptors on the way, and they will be able to take down the carriers. Pretty sure. There's only 2 left, but The ground army is starting to spiral out of control.
Actually,
Lings
dumping
get
out.
attacked by the interceptors.
Yeah, one of the carriers had dumped the interceptors, so that's gonna actually be really nice for him. But I'm not feeling good for NoRegreT here. He's really struggling to stay into this, and this again it astounds me because this is the one guy I expected to deal with this well because he's beat us so many times while we've tried this strategy. So even if he cleans up the carriers at this point, again, like will 30 Lings even deal with what's on the ground? Force fields are gonna be good. Stalkers have got that range. I don't know. But the Corruptors coming out and getting popped off one at a time, not really being given the opportunity to bulk up.
It is all about those Lings, and the carrier is probably going to get targeted down fairly quickly here, but they can always
dump the
unleash
interceptors.
the interceptors.
So yeah, even if they die, they're still going to be dealing damage behind this. But yeah, it does take out the last carrier. Mothership Core going to be the next point of focus. She's going to die, so no recall. NoRegreT with the extra bases, though, might just be okay behind this. Again, that's a gold base. It's all about the larva and what he can build, though.
Yeah, if you had roaches or even hydras, I think this is much better. You know, not larva intense units, basically. But they'll all be coming in from one hatchery or another, walking into those interceptors that are left behind that still probably would not have cut it, but maybe would have made it closer. Still 700 more minerals in the bank. If you could just get something else other than just Lings. If the Corruptors could use their P ability on Stalkers, everything would be going so much better.
Spine Powers wouldn't be too bad of an investment at this point either, if you could get a
That's
couple
true.
Against the surround, it's not looking too bad here to start. That +1 melee weapon's helping out a ton. Keep in mind, it's only plasma shield upgrades, not actual armor upgrades, but I think the warping potential is just going to outweigh the production of NoRegreT. I mean, again, sitting with 600 minerals, but almost no larva to work with. He can't build anything.
Oh, 2 more Void Rays. I don't know about too much, but just enough. Especially if they can get the
Oh, the Corruptors can't fight this at all.
prismatic alignment.
Queen, what are you doing? Transfuse the Corruptors before you die, lady.
No. She's gonna die with energy.
Just transfuse the one not being attacked.
Wrong one. Let's see.
Well, we know which was her favorite son.
You're right. I didn't even transfuse this one.
Okay, so giggles aside, I do believe KiFirE is going to take the series with a 2-1. GG. Congratulations to KiFirE, but don't worry if you're a NoRegreT fan, he's still got the losers bracket to fight with, so he's not out of the tournament yet. Big question is who won with... Oh, Hawk actually almost... That was the closest series. I thought 2-1 versus Penguin.
Yeah, and now we're gonna have a PvP. Oh boy.
Oh, is Cats and Semper started? As much as I want to cast a PvP, I think Cats and Semper would be really good. But I think they're probably in game if I had to guess. I don't see them in the lobby outside. Yeah. So, okay, then we'll probably follow KiFirE to fight Huck, if that's the case. And then follow that to the winner's match for the qualifying spot. As, we're not going to hold up the games this time around. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Going to play some ads while we sort things out with the players and hopefully get invited to this game.